Time to get ready for the Larry Needles Show, y'all. Larry and Needles.
Kiki's dead.
Larry and Needles Show. We're just kidding, man. Kiki's alive and well. He's just stuck at some kind of fucking yellow hole.
Yeah, rub and tug as usual. Yellow fever. Here you go.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. How are you doing, Larry?
Great. Hey, I'd like to also announce that if any of these beer companies like Hamm's, Coors, Budweiser, Old Style, whoever wants to...
Anybody who makes trailer water.
Yeah, you want to supply us with some beer, we'll avidly...
Drink it for free.
Yeah, we'll drink it avidly.
Yeah. T-shirts, anything you can do. Man, it's been a real... So we didn't do an episode last week.
No. Somehow God protected everybody from us.
Yeah.
Happy Easter, everybody.
It has been... Oh, Larry...
Well, belated Easter. It's a very important day for me.
How disrespectful you.
What?
Happy Trans Visibility Day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, are you
How
being
could I
serious?
forget?
Well, how could you forget? I'm going to tell you right now.
It's my big day.
Do they really need a visibility day? Like, you can't pick those bros out of the crowd, dude.
Right. And you know what else? I read something where I think it said something like 158 days are set aside for different
I actually have them.
homosexual and trans and LGBTQ
It's not
type
more.
shit.
It's not that many.
It's a lot.
I think it's
over a hundo.
I don't think it's. I actually have the list. I was going to read it, but then I was like, this.
But
is
we
kinda
don't have
boring.
enough time.
Yeah, no, this is like a transgender manifesto, and I really don't want to get into that. But it's been a heavy news week. I mean, the irony that I think they started Trans Visibility Day on 2009.
Yeah.
Created by the Penguin. Have you ever seen the lady that the person thing that started it?
The Batman?
No, but have you ever seen the person that started
No,
it looks like the Penguin.
Does it?
Yeah.
So it's a real
It looks like the Penguin. Oh man, let me tell you, this thing needs to go back into the core of the earth and fight with the other weirdos.
Go kill a few reptilians before you come back.
They have no fighting skills. But this is what the government's pushing on us. Is like, why? I don't understand why they're trying to separate us from God. Does that make sense?
Well,
why are they trying to push us away so much from our faith? And they want everything to be, you know what I mean?
One
like
of the big
fake.
reasons I believe is you can't, if you worship God, you can't worship the government. They don't want you to not worship them. They think that they're just fucking the greatest thing ever. You know,
we all know that that's not true. I mean,
but they don't.
Well,
they think they're fucking amazing.
Well, I don't think that. Do you really think that Joe Biden gets knocked out before he goes to bed every night? He's like, everything's amazing. I mean, they might give him an ice cream cone or something.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how.
Well, you know how it is when, we've both been there when you're on different, drugs and you don't really care what the world state is in when you're in that little twilight and you're feeling good.
We're in the zone.
You're laying down.
And all you do is care about your next fix. You don't really care what's going on.
The house could be on fire around you, and you're like, everything's cool, man.
But these other people, come on, like Trudeau. How the heck does Trudeau go to bed every night?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Kamala Harris, AOC.
Trudeau probably counts boys.
Jumping over. Yeah. I mean, the way that he's running that country, I wouldn't be surprised. It's crazy that they let us, that we're letting these people get away with this. Like, we forget that we are the people of the government.
Yeah.
Like, our views are so askew right now of what's going on in this country.
It's so weird, too. Trudeau, the way he's acting, and it's, because of the band and stuff, and because of the internet. I know a lot of people that I'm friends with now that live in Canada, and these people are fucking cool. They're not... I don't think they need to be bossed around with an iron fist the way they are. This fucking guy is, and they're not even allowed to speak up about it.
They're a very docile community.
Yeah, and they're all basically fucking chill. You want to be gay, that's fine. You want to do whatever you do, that's fine. There's no reason to fucking draw all this attention. It's like, okay,
well, that's what
somebody
they like.
Didn't get paid attention to enough as a child or something. That's what I think.
The squeaky wheel needs to get greased, right?
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. But
also, we ain't talking about that kind of grease.
Well, we were talking about also that how Canada is signing these contracts with people that have autism and that are sick and they tell them that, hey, we're going to give you a spectacular 1 year life left in your life.
Which I don't understand. What do they exactly do for you on that last year? That's
They
so
pay
spectacular.
your rent. They give you pills and drugs. They give you money.
So basically, you're high.
And then at the end of when your contract is up with the government, there's an actual case going on right now where a father is fighting because his daughter, shall I say, is feeble-minded. Signed under duress. Yeah, she signed under duress. She was in a bad position. She signed the contract for a year. And that's her life.
That?
No, I can't.
Oh my God.
That is furthest from God.
Scary.
They're playing God now.
Yeah.
And so now her contract is up, and the father says that she was under duress, and all they did was just drug this chick up and, give her a meager existence, and now they have to kill her.
Yeah.
Which is the craziest thing on paper.
We also know that you make some dumb decisions, or sometimes your feelings, the way you feel like about life when you're drugged and when you're not on drugs is two different things.
Well,
that's probably one of the reasons they give you the drugs, is to hopefully you don't come out of the haze before they get to fucking pull the trigger on you, because unless you're fucked up, you're not going to want to do that.
But also, Canada's like, we have this healthcare system where it's all so, rainbows and sausages, but it's not really. It's a real shithole up there. Especially with all the illegals that are coming in.
Yeah.
They're putting so much pressure on the government's health care did you also see this study?
We'll get the same thing. We're going to get the same fucking thing. They're just a few years behind them. Hey, man, I broke my foot. Well, we could put you in a cast. That's going to take like 6 weeks.
We can euthanize them.
We could probably just fucking off you right now.
Cut your leg off.
Yeah.
How's that? That's a solution.
And then you're so depressed about losing your leg, then they say, well, here, man, how about we euthanize you?
Yeah, when every problem's a nail, everything becomes a hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then how about this study that they just came out with, a 15-year study on these transgender children that it showed that it's just a phase.
Yes.
And that they come out of it. And then
I think it was like 2% of them remained
trans or remained to that lifestyle.
Most of them, 98% of them said, yeah, it's a good thing you didn't chop off my cock.
You have to be so crass, but okay.
You know what I'm saying.
Little girls taking puberty blockers and boys taking puberty blockers, and then they want to chop off your genitalia or they want to sew it up.
It makes you, not only is it an irreversible thing, it makes you lifelong sterile, but it also really, really fucks with your bone density and makes other organs in your body weak.
It's population control.
Just for a little bit of false happiness or some kind of sort of weird peace of mind.
Yeah.
You're going to fucking wreck all your other organs. You know what I mean?
But they don't understand that. The parents are the one that are doing, hey, you know what? It's in fashion. It's in vogue to have a trans child right now. Like, oh, you're so brave that you have this child that you're forcing to do things. Hey, you know what? Listen, I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid.
Right.
But once you realize that that's not going to happen, and that's a phase, you want to be the president. Which I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Realize that you're not dumb enough to be the president, and then you realize the Earth is flat and there's no space, and all these lifelong childhood fucking careers that you had in mind are no longer optional.
Well, okay, so the thing is that it's all indoctrination, right? We've been indoctrinated. Like we were just talking about, Larry has a globe in the basement. Like, oh, that brings me back to my childhood. Every time I see that, what do I remember? Being in a classroom. There's not that many people that actually have a globe.
I wanted to throw this globe out, but it's Mary's, and
we should put it on a Satelloon.
It's a fucking.
That's what we should do. Tie a balloon to it.
What a laugh.
Well, it's all what they want. The government wants you to believe. So everything is population control, right? I mean, they've come out and they said that they want to decrease the world's population from 500 million to 100 million, or we call it 1 billion people.
Anybody that's been to Europe has walked around and looked at the churches and the old buildings in the old school.
We're going to get into this right now.
Of the old school technology of the buildings, with the stonework and the awesome fucking designs, and then you look at any major city in the United States or Canada for that matter, and probably Mexico. I don't know. I didn't get into that.
They have the pyramids.
Not the pyramids, but they had these
I'm just
awesome.
joking.
Yeah, well, they do have the pyramids
Yes,
too.
I know.
But they had these awesome fucking buildings, and they always make it into some courthouse or some shit. And you look at the architecture, and you're like, damn, that shit is fucking dope. They got domes, pillars, fucking
Stone, brick,
yeah, just,
everything that's.
it's
Remember
supposed-
gargoyles?
Yeah, and supposedly they took all this material there with their horse and buggy, right?
Uh-huh.
And they could build this shit in 2 years. And,
Well, that was the World's Fair. That
Well,
we
I'm
talked
just
about.
saying.
Yeah,
I'm just
more
saying.
of that, some of that stuff. Took
a lot of
little bit
that
longer,
World's
but-
Fair shit, that was probably there before those World's Fairs. Because here's what they did. About 300 years ago, they wiped out the population, just like they're going to do again. Just like they're planning on doing now.
Okay.
They've done it before. They're going to do it again. You know, you
History
walking down.
repeats itself.
We live in Chicago. You're walking down the street.
Outskirts.
Well,
Thank God.
But we grew up and we were, born and raised in Chicago. I was born in Chicago. It makes me laugh when people say, when I say, where were you born? And they name some suburb. I'm always like, wow, you must be young. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. So you look around and you see these buildings and you're like, where the fuck did all these buildings come from? And the other thing is, the fatalities in the Chicago fire. Okay, here's
the cow kicked over that.
Well, yeah, okay, and Mrs. O'Leary's cow.
Yeah,
there was 17,450 buildings that burned down, and only 300 people supposedly died in the Chicago fire. Where were all the fucking people?
It was like 9/11.
There was no people.
Nobody showed up.
Yeah, 9/11, 2 buildings go down, 3,000 fucking people die.
Well,
that
also
doesn't
that
make
was
sense.
Well, that was building up also.
But
I mean,
but you're giving them excuses now. The fact is that if there was fires big enough to engulf the streets and jump streets and start whole neighborhoods and the whole fucking city on fire. That's some pretty big fire. You're not going to be able to run away from that shit on foot. You're going to die.
Multiple variables too. Like, if you look.
Well, that's because there was no people there. They wiped them out previously.
Well, but
and
if
they
you
had to
think-
get rid of the buildings because they made a fake reset
like-
with George Washington in 1776.
Okay.
All that shit
Imagine a
is fake.
fire starting and it gets so big and vast that it just literally takes everything out in front of it.
Yeah, but how about all the oxygen too?
What do you mean?
How are they going to breathe? Nobody died of smoke inhalation.
Well, if there weren't people in the buildings.
Right, that's it. There was
mean,
nobody there,
I don't
so
think
they
that-
burned down these empty cities. And we live in Chicago, so we happen to hear the Mrs. O'Leary's cow story, but you can't believe
It's a wives'
how
tale.
many. It's such bullshit. But every major city in North America and probably in Europe too, a lot of them in Europe. I haven't gotten into this part deep enough yet, but I'm just starting to get into this. Mr. X has been fucking sending me
flooding us with good information.
Yes, and
Shout out
it's
Mr.
amazing
X.
because you see this architecture and you think, what the hell's going on? This is some beautiful stuff. Go to Washington, D.C. and look at these buildings.
Yeah, you go anywhere. I mean, look
But
at
they didn't
Milwaukee.
build these
You go to
things in-
Milwaukee and you find great architecture.
Right, that's it. Milwaukee was one of the cities they named. They
I
walked
know.
all around Milwaukee and they're like, this building is from before. You look at our new construction, everything is a 90-degree angles, box,
Communistic,
square
like-
fucking thing with no thought, no artistic flair, no je ne sais quoi, so
It's
to
when
speak.
it's when you think of the Eastern Bloc back in like the 80s. That's what
More
that's
like
what
a
our
prison block.
Well, yeah, that's what our architecture looks like. That's demeaning, dull.
But why
doesn't
would they
want
do that when they
incite-
could do this beautiful shit? Or, I went in this one church. I remember buying my wife a fucking little book from there. I was so amazed by this place. It was in Germany somewhere, and I think I was in Ulm, Germany, birthplace of Einstein. And this fucking thing was amazing. And supposedly it was built in between
1800,
1340
okay. That old.
And they finished building it in 1612
Exactly.
or something. It took them a couple hundred years, but this shit, and it was the tallest spires. This will make people be able to look it up if they want to check my work. It was supposedly the tallest church in Europe, the tallest towers or spires, and this thing was fucking freaky, man.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was. It didn't look like it was
300
few
years
hundred
to
years
construct
old.
it.
It looked more like it was a couple thousand.
Yeah,
years
well,
old.
the timeline of Earth, it depends on what calendar you go, which you observe.
But they
we were just
they
with Mr.
seem
X.
to be able to cover up all these resets where they killed everybody and the elite keeps on going and they're going to do it again
Well,
and they've already done it before.
This is the Matrix. I know you've never seen the Matrix, and I'm
No,
not going
but
to come up
you-
with a fake explanation because it's just such a good movie, and I'm not in the mood. But This is just the matrix.
I think
it
you
resets
tried
it.
to tell me
It
about the
resets
Matrix
and it
before.
resets and it resets. You know, it's like it gets to a certain point when what are we? It's like I would hate to say it's like a simulation, but who knows, man? What's going on?
Yeah.
Like, who really knows? Because I was
Well,
asking.
one thing for certain is it's all a lie. They're lying.
Everything's
to
a
us.
lie. Like I sit like okay, so I wonder. All right, if the Earth is flat or is it round? Okay, that's cool. But then like when you get out to space, is it infinite? Are we just like
No, it's in a dome, man. It's inside
space
the
is
firmament.
infinite? See, that's what I'm saying. You're
But no,
talking about
supposedly it's held within the firmament.
okay. So then where are we after that then? So we're
Heaven.
just okay, we're just floating around in
hell.
heaven. In a like a, so we look like
I don't exactly
so
know
we look
the
like
scenario
a
if we're
cone
floating.
we look like an ice cream cone in your assumption.
No, I don't know. I don't know the configuration.
Or do we
of
look
the
like
setup.
a circle with the
I
dome
don't know
on
the
it, like
architecture.
well, that's what
I
I'm
think
asking.
it's flat. The Earth itself. Okay,
Yeah, do
I
you
thought
think it's
you
like
meant the whole picture, like heaven.
No.
hell,
Do you think it's like the Earth is a flat plane?
Yes,
and we're just flat.
They say that with the measurements
Who's
of
they?
the scientists and the people that do measuring, and out of my book written by Edward Hendry, but I cannot quote you
No, I know what you're. I
on the
understand.
exact source that he got his material from, but they said that they measured the Earth with all their measuring devices and stuff, their lasers and all the high-tech shit that they got going on now, and that it is actually, with the mountains included, flatter than a pancake.
Okay.
If you microscopically measure the pancake with all the dips and valleys, a pancake isn't even as flat as the Earth
Well,
is.
also we're talking about
That's
the Earth.
what they
the Earth
say.
spins at what 66,000 miles an
Yeah,
hour.
we're
and
spinning
then
at 66,000 miles an hour,
and
going another
water doesn't go
200,000
anywhere.
miles an
Yeah,
hour.
and then we're rotating around the sun.
'Cause gravity?
We're rotating. Well, I mean, we all know if you've seen those old NASA videos when they land on the moon, you know how gravity works, right?
Yes, NASA.
I mean, it's crazy. They just jump around up there. They're all having fun, you know.
Yeah.
They take off, and you can see.
You got nothing
you
to
can
worry
see the
about.
moon in the background. You can see shadows. You know, it's like okay.
Amazing.
You know, like does it really? I mean, does anything really shock you anymore? You know what? You know what? This is what. Okay, this is
I
what
haven't been
shocks
shocked
me.
since 1981.
I got shocked yesterday at work.
Well, that's
The
Mike's.
120 volts.
Niels is an electrician, so any episode you guys should always stay tuned because any episode could be our last.
Yeah, that definitely could be our. I'll call you in my dying moment, hopefully, and you're gonna have to record it.
Okay.
So this is crazy. What was I gonna look up? I got it right here.
This motherfucker can get shocked at the fucking drop of a hat.
Oh, here, you want to listen to this though?
Sure.
Okay, so this is. I was reading this thing. It's crazy how the internet cannot eliminate child pornography, the root demand for child trafficking, but can censor, block, and delete all conspiracy theories and facts.
Yeah.
So, and those who contact trace those who've been in contact with COVID, who contact trace, but not those who steal and molest kids.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, 'cause
like
it's a
it really
lot
sticks
harder
in my
to
craw
find.
about that. Like the way that the
Well, here's the thing: if you were a bank robber and you had a job of busting bank robbers and catching people in white collar crimes, you'd probably catch a lot more white collar guys through their computer because you have a soft spot in your heart for bank robbers, seeing as that you're one as well.
Yeah.
So if you were a child molester and you ran the internet and you owned Google or Facebook or whatnot,
allegedly.
and yeah, allegedly, and you didn't want to get rid of the child porn because you kind of like spanking it to that because you're fucking sick.
Or you're using it as sort of a honeypot effect to, what do you call it,
Attract-
blackmail people.
Or whatever
know, that's-
reason
I mean,
it
that's-
is, it's nefarious
you don't
and
even-
it's bad, and these people are fucking
You're
sick.
either the trafficker or the purchaser or the middleman. You know what I mean? Like
you're either with us or against us. It seems
well,
like
yeah,
they're
definitely. I
against
mean,
us.
that's definitely one of the ways.
That's the way I look at it. There's no trafficker middleman shit. You either approve or disapprove.
So this was okay. So
They
this
don't
was
disapprove. That's their problem. They're fucking.
well, they
sick
condone
fucks.
it.
Yeah,
they condone their
they love
behavior.
It. They actually.
I mean,
like
look at
it.
what's happened with the diddler right now.
Right.
Okay.
He's not even, you
So
know.
the funny thing is they're comparing him to Jeffrey Epstein, which is very funny. And how long has this been going on? People have been complaining about this. People have been saying stuff about this, and they just let him get away with it. Like, what is? I mean, they're
saw
preying on
this-
black youth, which already sort of disenfranchised. You know, the CIA broke down the nuclear black family. They were doing better, as good or better than the whites at one point with Black Wall Street. After we blew that up, because they found oil reserves. I mean, come on, man! Like our government. I mean, the thing with
And you know what else?
The thing with the bridge.
Diddy also kept the black man down, because I saw this thing not about him diddling today, but about how he ran his
Must have been an off day.
record. Yeah, it was about how he ran Bad Boy Records and what he would do.
I mean, come on, Bad Boy Records.
Yeah,
come on.
And instead of getting artists that were really dope, that had a fucking mind with something to say, he made sure he got guys that were weak, and so he made them a star. And so they always had on the back burner, hey, dude, you ain't shit. I'm the one that made you. You don't even have any talent. And these people knew it deep down inside. So they were way easier to manipulate, and those were the fuckers that he preyed on. And if you look at it, they named I can't remember any of them because I don't get into hip-hop, and normally I remember all these rock and roll bands and names, but they named person after person, rapper after rapper that was here and then gone when P. Diddy was done with them. And then the next guy is in, and it's like, whatever happened to this guy? And whatever happened to this guy? And it's like, wow, how do these people come out of nowhere, have a giant fucking hit and sell millions, and then all of a sudden they're just gone? Because they don't have any talent. And they don't have a voice because they got no talent.
One other way by the government to infiltrate another group of people. That's all it is.
That's it.
It's all used to deceit.
I saw a thing with Ice Cube talking about how they manipulate it, and that this
it's a thug culture that the CIA created it, and it got out of hand. And now as anything with the CIA, they just walk away from it and then let it manifest into whatever it happens and see what the end result is, and greedily grind their hands together. Because, here, you want to know what? Yeah, where was that thing? I was reading about how, man, BlackRock and Vanguard, how they own all this music. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Where the heck was that?
I wonder how much of it is already AI.
Here it is right here. So basically, it's all the rejection of moral and religious principles due to the belief that life is meaningless by music and money, and they create this culture like God doesn't matter. Money is God.
That's it.
Bitches are God. Drugs, cars, all this shit. And
what you got?
And it says it's not just Diddy. It's BlackRock and Vanguard. They actually own the music industry.
Diddy's just a puppeteer to help draw them in.
Well, they all are.
Dude from BlackRock isn't going to attract any.
Larry Fink, and then control the music. So they actually own the music industry and control it. Okay, this whole thing is a hip hop deal was about creating a culture where prison is a rite of passage and corruption and criminality is just built into the system.
Yeah,
isn't that crazy? The way that we manipulate our own citizens into believing what's cool, what's not, what's good for you, It's
horrible.
Like we were talking about upstairs about how the food they feed us is killing us.
People aren't supposed to know I have an upstairs, Needles. Okay. What are you saying?
Just a fungin. But the way that they manipulate us with food, with the media is the worst, okay? Because we might as well say this right now. Avian flu, before they start censoring us, because they probably will, because it's going to turn into COVID. They're already scaring us, or not scaring us, but they're scaring the sheep. That
they're trying to scare everybody with this new
virus, which terrain theory is something I've been looking into, and I was talking about that with Mr. X about how viruses are fake and all this other stuff, which I don't want to get into right now. I need to talk to him more about it. But
we need to get a little more educated before we start spouting off at the mouth.
But
we will spot off at the mouth.
The media is just scaring these people into a frenzy. Okay, so then now, let's add this stupid eclipse thing. We've had eclipses our whole lives. Can I hit that, please? And all of a sudden, this one is the one that's going to get us.
Be careful.
State of emergency.
It's going to be dark for a couple of minutes.
4 minutes, I think it's going to be. What do you call it? And then,
don't have to light it so much.
And
that's when that eclipse, and when it gets dark, people start getting handsy. That's about it. I've never really experienced anything.
Well, it'll be perfect for you because you last 4 minutes.
On a good day.
On an eclipse day, you
On
might.
eclipses, I go extra fucking long. I go 4 minutes.
But the media just stirring people up, creating all these fake scenarios and psyops and these black flag
But if
events.
you just put any common sense into it, why?
Whoa,
would
wait
this...
a second. Stop right there.
Right, I know.
Okay, wait
sense.
a minute. Wait a
I
minute.
shouldn't have said the
You're
F
putting
word.
too much faith into the common lemming public.
I know.
When you say common sense.
But why
The
would
only
this...
thing that can't be taught, bought, or sold.
Well, here's something. How about forget the
Or
common
your
sense?
soul.
Just if any conditioning over the years has sunk into these people, sunken in. I don't know how you'd say that.
Sunken in, yes.
You would know that all the other eclipses that came and went didn't affect you whatsoever.
Well, that's what I just said. This is all just mass hysteria. That's what they want to do.
Why would people actually buy into it?
Because you want to know why? Because you never waste a good.
My wife actually believes in it, and she said, I said, yeah, Leonard. Everyone knows Leonard.
A good catastrophe.
Our guest.
You never waste a good
He's going to
catastrophe.
Florida Monday, and I was talking on the phone with him last night, and Mary's like, oh man, I heard Leonard's going. I heard he's traveling on Monday. I'm like, yeah, and she's like, that's the day of the eclipse, and I'm like, so,
and
yeah,
another day,
and.
What's going to happen?
She seemed to
Do you
think
really
like
think
that was going to be some kind of bad
well,
shit.
okay, here's the thing also. Well,
Don Anford, he's like, oh man, these fucking people
can I tell you?
going to rent hotels.
I know, but listen. Okay, so the CERN collider is firing up on the day of the eclipse.
Yes.
Okay, and here I got another.
This I know.
Okay, so we all know I sent you that thing about Tom Hanks starting the CERN collider in 2009, so we all know how credible that is. And then they went there to go because of their movies. I sent you that yesterday in our you and I Kiki. You don't look at my stuff. That's
I
all
do
right,
look
though.
at your stuff. I don't remember.
But then, so because they had a movie they were promoting called Angels and Demons.
I thought it was just a movie. I didn't know it was real.
Yeah, it was a movie, Angels and Demons.
Yeah, but he didn't really start the CERN collider.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he really did?
Yeah.
I thought it was just a movie.
No, he actually did.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man. I mean, if you really want to give us
head pedo, allegedly.
And then so NASA's going to shoot sounding rockets into
sun.
the eclipse or into the moon, and they're called like Aphios after these gods of
Of course they are.
what do you call it?
Now here's
Crap.
the thing. Well, supposedly it takes them days to fly to the moon, right? They got to get the momentum and orbit the Earth, supposedly, and then fucking get the trajectory and fly out of the orbit, break orbit, supposedly, and then go to the moon. How are they going to shoot rockets at it? Straight at it. I thought it had all this mathematics and stuff involved.
I don't know, man.
Sounds like
I'm
a
not
big
a
lie.
aeronautical
they're contradicting
an aeronautical
themselves.
engineer or anything.
You don't have to be. I'm not either.
But I mean,
from
I
it.
understand when you shoot a rocket up, you can see the curvature of it.
Oh, shit, I don't have my phone on me. My uncle from California sent me Uncle Pete and Aunt Wendy out there in L.A. Shout out. Love you guys. I know you'd never watch this, but they're not, even though they're on the left coast, they're not stupid.
All right, get to the
people.
story.
He sent me pictures of the actual photographs of him taking them, of the rocket, SpaceX rocket, and I was showing him to Mark today, and you notice how they're going across the sky, and it looks fucking intense. I got about 7 pictures he sent me. They're really fucking
There's video
cool.
of it. You can watch the video from X.
It was kind of cool because it was my uncle, and it just, I'm like, well, if it was going to space and they wanted it to go up and go out, wouldn't they just send that motherfucker straight up? Why do they send it across the sky? Because they can't really make it through the firmament, is my theory.
Okay. I mean, that's a solid theory.
Why
right?
does it go sideways? Why doesn't the thing go straight up?
I don't think that, what do you call it? Oh, shoot, I can't believe I lost that. I've never, what do you call it? Oh, here we go. So NASA's firing 3 sounding rockets on April 8th eclipse path.
And this is just to bang in and make a...
Well, here, I'm going to, so names it Project APEP, or Aphrios, named after the serpent deity of chaos, death, and disorder. I mean, come on. This campaign is named Aphios, I think that's what it is, after the cosmic world serpent from ancient Egypt cosmology. So
Wonderful.
The serpent pursues the sun god, Ra, and every so often nearly consumes the sun disk, resulting in an eclipse. So I don't know. So basically,
So they're putting all their symbolic mythology into this and all their little fucking.
Well, but NASA. This is
call
from
rituals?
NASA's website.
Yeah, I hear you.
But they didn't go to. Actually, this is. Some of it's from NASA, some of it's from Twitter that I was reading. This other guy broke down what they wrote,
Sure.
like the name of the
like when a preacher
the acronym.
tells you what the passage in the Bible.
Well,
is
he
supposed
broke
to
down the
mean.
acronym for it and then explained it. So I mean, they
So
really
they put it in your face.
they really give us the game plan. We've
Yeah.
already talked about this. The game plan is written out there. It's on a piece of paper somewhere. It's on an email somewhere.
Well, if people
like why. What do you think is going to happen during this eclipse?
Anyone that lives in any major city around the whole country right now watching this can go out into their downtown area and look around and find the ancient buildings from the civilization that was in the United States before we were, way before 1776, that they already wiped out once.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if you look for it, you'll find it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not.
I mean, what's the oldest tombstone you've ever seen?
Oh, I can't tell you
I
offhand.
just thought of this. Well, I know that the oldest ones I've ever seen were like maybe 1850s,
Okay.
something like that.
I mean, listen, your theory about cleansing of the earth and starting anew makes perfect sense,
Yeah.
right? It does
To
when
me,
you. Well, I'm just saying,
course,
it
I'm out of
makes
my
it
mind.
makes okay, it makes sense.
Yes.
But at the same time, people that value doesn't coincide with Christian values, how the
No.
earth was formed.
No.
It doesn't scientific. Neil deGrasse Tyson will tell you till he's blue in the face
Yeah.
about the Big Bang Theory and all this
Yeah.
other stuff. And it's like everybody
He's
has
got to talk a lot until he's blue in the
But
face.
yeah, listen,
if
he's
you
a
know
smart
what I'm saying.
cookie.
Well,
You know what I mean? He's book smart.
And he's a puppet. Man.
But hey,
he has no balls.
listen, and I'm not-
He'll lie for money.
You know,
He
I ain't
will
no
lie
Rhodes
for money.
scholar, so I
He'll lie
understand.
for money, though. I won't do that.
Not everybody can be paid off. Everybody has a
I
price.
can't.
Huh?
I can't.
If they were like, oh, you know, I'm not. Let's not even get into the. You know, I'm not even.
Maybe
think.
I can't be paid off. If someone out there thinks I could be paid off, you make me the craziest offer you could imagine, and we'll see if I take it.
So
That'll be the challenge for the Larry and Needles
I mean, this whole thing with
home game.
the bridge, right?
Larry
last
can't
week,
be bought, it'll be called.
the bridge last week.
Yeah.
I mean, is it weird that there's a
Francis
lot of
Scott
stuff going
Key.
on? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
The
That
guy who wrote the Star Spangled Banner.
oh, that's
The
racist.
first hip hop psyop song.
That's racism right there because you're talking about the what do you call
Oh,
it?
the colors and their flag and everything.
This dude.
The flag is racist, right?
Huh?
The American flag in itself is racist. Doesn't
Everything's
it bring
racist,
feelings
Larry.
of oppression?
Remember after 9/11, how everybody
Some
was so
people-
American, and then all of a sudden it just, you know,
Yeah.
people started
Streets
realizing
were
it was an
lined
inside
with
job.
American flags.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Here's all the days for.
Holy. Okay, let's see. I'll just count.
No, yeah. Just don't even count 'em. I just wanted to show you really quick.
Dude,
I don't
that's
want you
got to
to
be.
doing-
That's about.
It's like 30.
60,
It's like 30 something days or something like that.
more. I'd say more. I'd say more towards 50, 45 or 50.
Okay.
So you know they don't get enough recognition. I
Here-
can see that.
Let me. I just want to read this. There's a lot of stuff.
And by
on
the
here.
way, the days where he's going back to the story about the LGBTQ. This guy, you got to, you know. it was
How many
about a
days
half
from the
hour ago
government
we were talking.
recognize the days the government recognize
LGBTQ.
that support whatever,
Different little
whatever,
days for them.
whatever, man. So I just wanted to read this. Okay, things are not in the news anymore.
Right,
Maui fires,
right.
East Palestine, Ohio, the second time, another train. You know, Biden's classified documents. Fauci working with China to create a bioweapon. Buttigieg's best friend in prison for child porn. Cocaine in the White House.
figures.
The data collected from the Chinese spy balloons. Ukraine intelligence documents released that show they were suffering massive losses and the American taxpayer was being lied to. Pelosi's film crew on January 6th. Veterans being kicked out of shelters to make rooms for illegal. Pizzagate debunker jailed for possession of child pornography. Gay porn film, and I know this is a lot.
This is.
It's a real lot, okay? And
But
I
here's the
apologize
thing.
for reading
You
it because
tell us in the comments which one you want us to do a show on.
yeah, we'll do all of it. Hey, especially this one for Larry. Gay porn film in Seattle hearing room, which was really
We'll do a two-parter with that.
You do
one.
it, yeah, back and front with Larry.
Do half of the real shit will have to be on Patreon. When
So
we
then-
ever get that.
Veterans Affairs prioritizing healthcare of illegals over veterans. Afghanistan draw of 13 service members killed in Kabul at the airport.
Yeah.
3 service members killed in Jordan. Remember that?
Yes.
Dude,
It's
Hunter
a crying
Biden making
shame.
$1.5 million for paintings. J6 prisoners are still in jail. 85,000 missing children at the border. Epstein clients. The Nashville Transifesto. I like that, the Transifesto instead of manifesto. I mean, our
They should have
boy,
kept it manifesto, though.
our boy Paddock,
Still-
our boy Stephen Paddock. Nothing's still come out about that. The Vegas shooter.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
But
the
that's
next one.
old news.
I know, but still, these are still things. That's what they're. You know what I mean? These things, man. Suicide bomber in Tennessee. Obama spying on
Wait,
2016.
what suicide bomber in Tennessee?
This was, I think, last year. I don't have the exact
I remember
facts with
that.
me. Can I hit that? And then the J6 pipe bomber, Antifa and BLM rioters caused all that
Don't
damage.
need a lighter, bro.
Missing children. Oh, shit. Missing children from Lahaina. Supreme Court Justice fucking leaking the LTO decision. I don't know what that is. The blowing whistleblower gets suicided.
Puff.
Wildfires in Texas. Food processing plants burning down.
Talk about these. Man, look at these telecasters, people. The people that are just listening behind me. I have about, I don't know how many people.
They can see, but dude, think about that, Larry. Hey, Larry,
8 telecasters.
think about this list.
It's amazing.
Nothing.
It's called like brush it under the rug, y'all.
It's not even
just-
brushing under the rug.
Just forget. Well, yeah.
It's something new happens every single day that distracts us from the day before.
You never get to
day
the
before.
bottom of anything. If the trouble never ends, you never even get to the bottom of the first thing.
Well, it cycles out in the news. There's always something more salacious the next
and
day.
plus, people's attention span and memory is very
15-second clips.
Yeah.
That's all it goes on.
And that's what happens.
But
We get conditioned to reinforce that by the internet and by these quick reels. And I got to admit, I'm addicted to them too. Sometimes I'll sit there and I realize, man, I started out by watching some guy fixing a guitar. And now I've been watching this thing for like 40
you get
minutes.
distracted.
I'm so far removed from where I started that I can't even remember where I started.
that's why-
Sometimes I have to think really hard. Like, how did I start doing this? Oh, yeah, I was watching
you went down the rabbit hole,
some stupid
what happens.
shit, and it just leads to the next thing. And I'm like, oh, and then, oh.
and you just lost 2 hours of your day, and you don't
Yeah,
even realize
yeah.
it. That's what they
Fucking
want.
weird.
Trying to distract us from everything else that's going on. But dude, that list that I just read you, it is
It's
an
fucking-
astronomical list of things, and that's only, you know what I mean?
Partial.
That's the last 2 or 3 couple years.
Yeah.
Like there's not.
Yeah.
It's how.
And a lot of it is very, very serious. It's not like, oh, a parking ticket. It's like, no, dude, you killed 10 people with your car, and
Dude, the Maui
you
fires.
smashed- Yeah, I know.
Like
that's
it's
what I mean.
cut
It's
up.
not
It's like
small stuff.
you can't.
It's huge.
Shit. I was listening to a guy.
Stuff that they would be making. If this stuff happened in the 1980s, there would be movies about it. Okay, just the Maui fire thing. If they would have happened once in a decade, people would be like, "Oh my God!"
Well, they make movies about it, but
Well,
I mean,
but here's the thing:
you don't make
it would
movies
have
about the
been
truth.
Really, really well. They make movies.
Hollywood doesn't.
Hollywood makes movies to reinforce the narrative and the lies.
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
it's like we
That's
said,
why
it's all
Ti-
predictive
Titanic
programming.
had to come out. and
They
stuff.
no, I mean they just made they're coming out that movie Civil War. I mean, why are you making a movie about a civil war at the most unrest time in the
Pre-programming.
United States?
Yeah, predictive programming.
Yeah, but I mean, this is these times that are going on right now. This place is a boiling.
Mary hates when I do
a
this.
powder keg. Well, stop, dude. Come on, what are you doing? This is like a powder keg going on right now,
Yeah.
and it's just waiting
It's
for
a powder
something.
keg, and everyone's smoking cigarettes with an ash about this long. You know?
No, the government is.
Yeah, that's
just
what I mean.
waiting to-
Everyone
they're
that's
just
running the
holding
powder
it,
keg.
holding it over our heads like, we're just gonna have to bow down and take it. Now, listen, I don't know. I have no idea how to even. I mean, the way that the government gives away our data right now is. I have a stat on that also. The way that the government
Factoid.
gives up our what do you call it? Our information to the FBI, to any acronym.
Well,
and they
I
come
think
and
the FBI just, they don't even have to. The government doesn't have to give up anything to them. I think they're the ones that, first of all,
request that
they
shit and they
invented
give
the
it to 'em.
internet in like 1933 or whenever they did it.
okay.
It's the government's thing. So Facebook and all these other, whatever little social medias, That is all fucking nefarious government run shit. All they're doing is taking in your information all day long.
Yeah,
and
your
putting up the
information is worth
craziest
more than
shit.
you.
You're putting
It
up
is.
the craziest shit. They see exactly who they're dealing with
So-
every single person.
It says Facebook received 73,956 requests from U.S. law enforcement in the first half of 2023. So I think those numbers are way, way devalued.
Wait, what did they request?
73,956 requests. So probably for people's information.
From
Because-
the FBI?
No, from Facebook. The FBI, okay.
They're
U.S.
asking
law
Facebook.
enforcement
Law enforcement
asked
is asking
Facebook for 73,956 pieces of information.
Well, here's the thing. If anybody, and I'm sure a lot of people do, I know
That's
we
way
do.
underestimated,
Anybody who
I'm gonna
watches
tell ya.
cops,
What's
the
that?
first thing they do is go on their Facebook. A lot of these kids,
Oh,
check
yeah,
them
'cause
out
they're
on
all-
their Facebook. And
They're
see-
all half-brains and dumbwits,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
But isn't
yeah.
that crazy, though? Think about that. So, like I said, I think that number's way devalued. It's at 73,000. I think it has to be in the 300 and something thousands, probably. But these people, they'll come. Every day they go to people's houses because of something you typed on the computer.
Yeah. I saw some.
Goodbye,
stuff.
free
I don't know if
speech.
it was on. Maybe it was on the DGens thread. It was the lady getting asked supposedly from the FBI at her house. They wanted
Yeah.
to question her about some.
Yeah, she asked them to show them, or she asked for their credentials,
And they were like-
no, we already showed them to you. And she's like, well, I don't have them on camera. And she's like, I want to take pictures. And they're like, no. And she stood her ground. But
Yeah.
at the same time,
What the fuck? At the same time, what the fuck?
who
That
knows
was
what's
bad.
going on?
That wasn't good.
Well,
So,
that's the problem when we start attacking our own citizens. That's when we get this,
yeah.
when
It
nothing is sacred anymore.
It's exactly like, I mean,
is anything
I
sacred?
reread. I read when I was a kid, 1984. But I didn't retain
Listen later.
anything, and it didn't
Or
mean
Orwellian
anything.
existence?
But I reread it again. I bought it and I read it again. I read it like last summer, and I'll tell you, man, it scared the hell out of me. It scared the fucking shit out of me, and I was like, wow, it's exactly. And now it is really every day. It's becoming more and more like that book, and it's fucking frightening, man. This was just. It's brutal. Have you ever read the thing?
Yes, I read it a long time ago. I didn't retain any of the knowledge.
Okay.
They made a movie about it.
They did.
I tried to watch it.
Oh wow! I didn't know they made a movie.
Yeah, it was a little bit difficult to watch, and it kind of lost what the book was talking about. But it's a
I
game
didn't
plan,
know
Larry.
They had a movie.
It's a
But
game
you
plan.
can't lie to me about what this one's about.
Well, no, but it's
'Cause I
a
read the
game plan.
book.
They give you the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like they give you the game plan,
1984, and it's like holy shit, man.
and it's this whole desolate place where you're just you're just like a number. It's like an internment camp.
Well, it's more
They
than
take
that.
away your
It
freedoms.
was-
they take away your. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it
Like,
was amazing.
No religion, no
It was
God,
amazing.
nothing to look forward
But
to.
here's the other thing: everything was all lies, and they had this one thing in there called the Minute of Hate, where they would, and all the people in the community had to get together,
And do what?
and they put up
Hate?
a picture. Yeah, they
Nice.
put up a big picture of somebody. It would be the latest criminal that they all were supposed to hate, and the people would fucking go and scream and yell and curse this thing out vehemently, like passionately, and like this guy, the guy who's writing the book, whose thoughts are the book, he's not feeling it, but he knows if he doesn't go along,
Yeah.
he's gonna get pointed out,
Yeah, you get a social
And it
credit
was just
score, you get everybody
really
turned
fucking
against.
crazy, and in the book they go back a few times to this Minute of Hate, and of course he sees a hot chick during the Minute of Hate, and he thinks he wants to mac on her and fucking. If they didn't read it or see the movie, I don't want to give it away, but it was just crazy, and that's what they want now, and that's what it is with Trump. They see him, and it's like automatically you have to start hating him, and if you don't, something's wrong. And if you don't hate him, they're going to come and check on you why you don't hate him.
And that's all been perpetrated by the media.
In 1984, they would have came and took you and put you in a fucking
The gulag.
torture chamber. Yeah. But, we're one step from there. I mean, look at the J6ers, man. I mean,
look at. I mean, it's not even that. Who knows?
It
the
is
problem,
that.
The
It
problem
is
is
that.
that okay, so they're arresting this guy for January 6th, but they're not arresting these other people that are going into the Capitol and doing the same shit.
Because they're on the right side.
You know what I mean? Like, they have these protests.
They're on the side you're supposed to be
The Rainbow
on.
Mafia. Here you go. And
you should know all about that Rainbow Mafia.
no, but
just like what they're doing now, just like what Hitler did with the swastika. It used to be a symbol of good luck, and then Hitler hijacked it and used it for his flag.
Rotated it a quarter.
And now he made it into a fucking symbol of fear and hatred and loathing.
Well, it's associated with it.
And they did the same thing with the rainbow. God gave us the rainbow as an insurance, as a symbol of that he'll never flood us out again.
Why I used it.
And
it was cool then.
And then LGBTQs fucking hijacked the rainbow. So now when you see the rainbow, it doesn't mean what it used to mean anymore.
Well, they put him on the...
It used to mean something real good.
The funny thing is...
it just means some symbol for perversion.
They paint them on the ground, on the road.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people trample on that. Like, it doesn't really... It's just like a bold statement. You know, would you paint if you paint an American flag on the ground?
Yeah.
I'm sure people would not kindly take to that.
Well, of course not, because it's a symbol of oppression. It's the man, you know.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to like the American flag.
It's not cool to be American.
It's not cool.
That's all right, though.
And that's really got to piss off those kids that are getting the Tunnel to Towers houses that get their fucking arms and their legs blown off for this country.
Yeah.
And they're Americans and they're fucking ready to die for it. And a lot of their friends probably did die for it, and they did. Well, a lot of their friends did die for it. And...
they're being
they
duped by the
probably
government.
got, survivor's remorse, and now they're seeing how much these fucking assholes are just willing to throw away the country.
Well,
like, it doesn't mean anything, and these fucking kids sacrifice their fucking lives.
I just read that. They're taking veterans of...
and then they're going to give that shit to fucking
illegals.
immigrants.
Yeah, they give them illegals.
Illegal fucking aliens.
Say illegal aliens, don't say immigrants. It's called spade a spade. But they're just going to keep on letting them in. And we're just going to keep on having to deal with them. Yeah, I'll take a hit of that. And it's a vicious cycle that I don't even see the end to.
No.
They keep on, like, you really don't hear...
They perpetuate this racism shit, and the thing is that the truth is, anyone from Chicagoland can tell you that nobody gives a fuck about race. At least they didn't before all this bullshit.
Well,
you know what I mean?
There's always been some sort of tension.
Well, but it's not like what they talk about. It's not like what they say. And it might even be a little reverse of what they say, is what I'm saying.
Well, it's a narrative that the media gives you and that you're supposed to believe it. That's the problem. If you believe what the medium, if the media tells you, you got a real problem. Mm-hmm. They don't have your best intention. They're gonna pull on your heartstrings. One more and you get slapped. I'm happy to be back at Krav Maga.
Yeah, hey, I went up a level at Krav Maga.
Oh, yeah, congratulations to Larry.
I'll tell you what, man.
Larry...
I haven't smoked in a month or so now, and I can't fucking breathe. And
Larry Floyd.
One night we went there, and it was just me and the trainer, and so there was no time to waste in between, and I almost fucking died, and... he kicked the shit out of me, and really, I don't even think we might not have even gone the full length. I don't even know. I was delirious by the end.
Yeah,
you know
I don't think you went the whole thing.
Dude, I was fucking.
We were beating the shit out of you.
But last night he kicked our ass pretty good at the end.
Yeah, he did.
Next thing.
That's what he's supposed to do.
It was pretty fucking fun.
But it's good though. That's another thing that you should be. You know what I mean? Like I'm not
just learning some fucking
or something about
street skills.
Well, yeah, something to defend yourself,
and
man.
also to stay in shape because America's fucking fat.
Well, and
we're fat
it's
too.
It's so funny
the thing is you can see how fat everybody is because there's a giant fucking mirror on one whole wall. And it's
well,
like,
but listen, you want to know what the problem with that is? I'm gonna come up with. Oh, I got a conspiracy theory that I came up with that I don't know if anybody else has. Okay, so it is crazy that we turn on our own people, isn't it? Like, oh, look at that fat person. Okay. That person can't stop eating. But at the same time, it's like, hey, you know what? The government ain't feeding us the greatest food.
That's why they're fat.
And it's like, so we're not getting mad at the McDonald's selling these people food. We get mad at the people. That's what they want us to do.
That's what it is.
Like this minimum wage thing in California.
Well, here's the other thing. How many, for years, that the people that make up the food, you know, what you should eat,
The
said
pyramid,
that
the food pyramid?
The food pyramid. They said that like Lucky Charms were, as nutritious as
No.
a steak and stuff like that. And
So
you
much
should have 4 servings of bread a day and things
Which-
like that.
The food was different back then.
But
also,
no, it was also. But you know what
it
else?
wasn't as bad as it is
They
now.
found out though that those people making those food pyramids were getting paid by
yeah.
the people that were making the food.
Yes, they get they're lobbyists. They lobby them
brother.
to make
So
You're telling me something I don't know right now?
I'm just saying you
I
can't
know.
trust what they're telling you, and it's the fault of the food. It's all the preservatives. When we would go to again different countries and you eat like a ham sandwich or even a bag of fucking potato chips, everything tastes different, a little different. It's like, why? Because you know what? They don't have all the fucking extra chemicals and
preservatives,
shit
the coloring.
Yeah, it started freaking me out, man. I'm like, what the fuck? Mary was watching this thing about this lady. She moved to Germany or something because of her husband in the army. And she's looking for Tide. And she's like, I can't find Tide in any of the stores. And she goes to another town. She can't find it there. Starts looking around on like Amazon in the area in Europe. And they're like, oh, we don't sell that here. Because there's certain chemicals in there that are outlawed in Europe.
Yeah, but this is a well-known fact.
And I'm like, shit, man, that's the shit my wife uses.
Yeah,
I'm like, Mary, you
got
to start using something else.
Man.
Yeah, but it's with the food, it's with the chemicals.
They come at you every
angle. Every fucking angle.
You want to be silly, even talk about chemtrails. They come at us from above. In the ground, they're dumping chemicals into the aquifers. We're drinking the water.
Oh man,
they have us literally surrounded by. The EPA is a joke.
As soon as it's warm out, it's chemtrail season. Not that they don't do it all year, but that's when my wife is in the backyard counting every single plane. She's like, Larry, that's another one. It's like the 5th one since I've been out here, and it's like, oh my god, now we're gonna count how many chemtrails. And it's true though. It's like one day the sky is blue. And then all of a sudden, it's too nice for us. The peasants are having their spirits are rising. We got to fucking hammer them back down. So the planes start flying over. We live close to O'Hare Airport, so really we see a lot of them. And sure enough, the next day, after they chemtrail it up, it's cloudy out again. It's everything.
Chemtrail it up.
Yeah,
which is a real scientific way to put it.
But you've seen them, Needles.
I've seen them, yes. Man, I completely
We're
got me
out
off
there,
track
and you've
with
seen
what I was
Mary
talking
go,
about.
look at that one. And some of them are really high up there. Some of them are landing, and they're turning the chemtrails off.
No.
You can see them turning them on and off.
Nobody cares about the people. We're all, you know what I mean? We're all just taxpayers. We're all just $1.
Not very honorable.
No one wins in this situation, right?
This 1966
come on, really?
Fender Esquire is pretty damn honorable,
right.
though. I could tell you that. Let me tell you, boy. Yeah, boy.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm. So it was I'll tell you, man, we had a really good Easter, and I know Easter's old news, but because it was days ago, but we didn't do a show, and me and my brother, I brought my keyboard and a guitar and a little amp over to my mom's house, and me and my brother jammed for hours, and everybody was like, yeah, that was real cool. And we didn't argue about what chords we were going to play or...
Here, you want to hear something crazy? So,
it was great.
Wuhan on the Rockies. Biosafety Committee found dozens of accidents at that NIH-funded lab in 3 years. Remember we talked about this in Colorado? That they were opening up that new bio lab there?
Yeah.
Fort Collins. So, dude, they had outbreaks in Corona, Zika, tuberculosis.
Zika?
Yeah, dude. Remember that where it gives babies big heads?
I didn't think Zika was still a thing. The
kids Zika babies?
They got pinheads and shit?
No, they were huge.
Was it, wait,
yeah, Zika
was
babies.
It huge or I thought it was real small, like they became like a pinhead.
Zika babies, so that's a good punk band name.
Yeah, the Zika babies.
64 lab incidents from 2020 to 2023, man. In Colorado.
Wait, 64?
Yes. I mean,
So they're not very careful around.
no, I mean, I don't just even throwing needles around.
I mean,
Hey, catch
playing
this.
darts with hypodermic
Yeah.
needles.
Here,
This one's
catch this dummy.
Wait, one guy. That's how they could tell whose dart it is. One guy's got COVID in his. The other guy's got mumps. The other guy's got measles. Which darts are yours, dude? They're squirting all over the place and shit.
Yeah, dude, they're using cats.
Oh man.
Yeah, 64 with
I hate
bats,
to hear that.
cats, hamsters, and mice.
I don't even like
They were
when
exposed to
fucking give
COVID,
mice-
Zika, rabies, tuberculosis. Jeez, man.
dude.
I mean, who wants to work at these places? You
How
have
did
a real death wish.
How did your cat die? My cat died of TB.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know.
My cat died of consumption.
They just took Mr. Snuggles off the street.
Damn.
You wouldn't even know, man.
You know what? I wonder-
R.I.P. Mr. Snuggles.
Hey, I wonder how many of my cats got snatched up by the government.
Well, the last two
experimented on.
just
Well, no,
died
those two
within
died.
days.
Yeah, but they died before my eyes, and I took them and
That
took
don't
care
matter.
of them. How many of them that disappeared that I never saw
I'm telling
again?
you,
That
I think
just
someone took them
assumed-
out, dude. I think the IDF took them out.
Ah.
Yeah, the Jews took out your cats.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how they teach. That's how they don't want you doing Krav Maga anymore. That's their message to you. Isn't it crazy though?
Ah, man. You know what? I bet you they did snatch up a few of my cats in the past. Because, like,
They
whatever
made them
happened...
convert.
Yeah. Because whatever happened to Professor Neutrino? I didn't see his carcass dead anywhere. He just disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a wild cat.
Whatever happened to Gracie?
I don't know,
She
man.
just
You're just gonna
fucking
start naming off your
disappeared.
dead outside cats
Yeah,
now.
no, but they just disappear. And it's like,
All
okay.
right, that's cool, bro.
A few of them, I mean, I had, 30, 40 cats. My graveyard only has about 4 or 5 cats in it. The
Cat
math
grave.
doesn't fucking add up.
No,
A lot
not
of
at all.
them got snatched up by the government, it feels
think?
like. I mean, where did they go?
I dead.
There should be dead cats all over the
I
fucking
mean,
place.
well, not in your yard. It looks like
I know, but where
maybe
did they
they,
go?
probably somewhere else, Larry. If that wasn't
Huh.
your yard, right? I mean, that's the only other sane thing to think.
I want
If they didn't die here, they probably died
A
somewhere.
lot of them
else.
were young and healthy, like right in the experiment age. The cat
I think they just take it.
scientist experimenting age,
I mean, I think it's kind of rough. Well, I mean,
It's
if
rough
that's
being a
cl-
cat
that's
in
pretty
a science
no,
lab.
that's pretty grassroots though. If you're going like town to town,
Well-
recruiting cats, let's say recruiting.
Here's the thing. Sometimes they don't want a lab-grown animal. They got to see what it's going to do
One in the
on a
wild.
wild one. Yeah.
Here you go. I mean,
Those poor kitties.
they had the life at one point, right?
Yeah.
What time are we at?
You gotta. We're there. I'll tell you what. Since I quit smoking, this is gonna sound crazy.
Oh man,
I feel like my vision improved a little.
how many bong hits did you just do? Like 8?
Well, I could see now.
Oh, that's great.
I couldn't see at all before. Like I could read the clock. I can read the clock on the dresser across the room on Mary's side of the bed
That's why you were a favorite at the Glory Hole.
without needing to put on my glasses or anything.
Okay.
I couldn't do that before.
So now you quit smoking and your vision got better?
I don't know. I
don't either.
It might
I
not
think this
have
is-
anything
I
to do
think-
with each other. But
Yeah, I think that's the right assumption. I mean, you're just coming up with these wild theories all of a sudden.
But I mean,
I started smoking more. You should start more. You started smoking more weed now that you're not smoking cigarettes.
No, and that's the other thing. I think I get higher from weed. My plumber came over today. Shout out to Joe. I won't say the name of the thing.
Thank you very much.
Because I don't want to
Yeah.
fuck up his business. But this guy's great, and he gave me some weed today, and it was called Blue Steel, and he said his friend grows it or something, and damn, it was fucking kick ass.
All right, we got any left?
Yeah, I might have some left.
All right, cool. Let's end this bitch and go smoke some.
We got some shit right here. We don't need to end yet.
What time is it?
We're 58 minutes and 52 seconds, man. We got to give these fucking people their money's worth. It's supposed to be an hour show.
Well, we got to do Tom's. You
It's
got to do your
2
shout
fucking
out.
minutes left, and you're crying about what time.
I'm not crying about it. I just
You're
told
right.
you.
We do have to
Yeah,
do
exactly, you ass monkey.
No,
It's,
seriously though, I got to thank everybody for tuning in. You people are the best, and I'm sorry we fucking missed last week. We usually never miss a a week, but
Family
crazy
emergency.
shit happened with needles, and I don't
Family
want to
emergency. Let's just leave it at that, man. Okay, it's time to end this. You're getting real truthful.
I'm not gonna give any. I'm not gonna say what happened.
Okay, let's just keep.
You act like I'm going to like.
You are, because you're
give
gonna
him your
forget where you're
address
at.
or
Yeah,
something.
you're gonna forget
And,
where you're at and
here's
have a
what
brain
happened,
fart.
and here's who did it, and here's why. And,
Cops are listening.
And yeah, so yeah, we got to say thanks to Tom's Free Clinic and Automotive and Veterinarian Services. They are the best.
Thanks, Tom. If you've been hanging in the jungle and you got a little Pol Pot on your grundle, call Tom Free Clinic. I wrote some of the dictator ones.
Nice. I wonder what this.
Wrong one. All right.
You can hit the gong from behind. That's what she said.
Is that code for something when you go to
Yeah.
Boys Town?
Yeah.
All right.
But seriously, it's what's the next concert or something? What's
We're
going
just
on?
rambling on here.
Yeah,
This is
man.
what you're gonna do.
Yeah, let me see that lighter.
I mean, we can do this with the mics off.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
But seriously, you people, I got to thank you for tuning in.
And if you listen this long, thank you very much.
And I want to thank my family. I want to thank Needle's family.
God,
I want to thank our friends.
Mr. X.
God,
Sherry,
Jesus,
Jay.
of course. Yeah,
Yeah, Barbara
Sherry
Gay.
and Jay, even though they fall into the friends category. But
All right. Okay, we're just rambling on now. Peace.
Sherry gave me a whole bunch of kick-ass art stuff for my birthday. I haven't seen her like, my birthday was like last month, and I saw her the other day, and she hands me all these things in a bag of presents. I'm like, what's going on? Your birthday? And I'm like,
Nice.
my birthday was like a month ago.
That was very nice.
But
of
she
her.
has like, I didn't see you, and I got to say thanks, Sherry. That stuff is really cool. I told my brother about it when I saw him at Easter, and he was like, oh, wow. So,
Cool. All right.
love you, Sherry.
Thank you, Sherry. Love you. All right.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.